Finally, Middlesbrough are just about to click into gear in the summer transfer window with one key target already being assessed. According to reports and verified by the Northern Echo and Teesside Live, Middlesbrough are interested in a deal to sign Lewis Dobbin from Aston Villa. Now, Dobbin is a forward by trade. He spent last season on loan with Preston North End in the Championship and enjoyed a wonderful season. Scored 11 goals, provided 8 assists for the Lily Whites. They finished 14th in the Championship last season, and only 6 players in the Championship had more direct goal involvements than Lewis Dobbin last season. Now, you may remember as well that he did find the back of the net at Deepdale against Middlesbrough, and it's clearly that performance, as well as scouting him extensively over recent months, has led Middlesbrough to pursue a permanent deal to sign him. Now, Dobbin has 2 years left on his contract at Villa Park, but there is suggestions that he could be open to completing a permanent move. He's 23 years of age right now, so he's not the youngest in terms of profile. He's not on the upward curve. He's someone that Aston Villa could be looking to cash in on in order to comply with PSR and that sort of thing. And of course, they signed him just a couple of seasons ago from Everton in a deal which was reported to be worth around about £9 or £10 million, so quite a substantial fee for him. But it does seem like Aston Villa could be willing to cut their losses on the player, allow him to move on, with Middlesbrough interested in signing him on a permanent basis. Now, of course, it remains to be seen what kind of transfer fee we're talking about. No deal has been agreed just yet, but Middlesbrough are keen to sign him on a permanent basis. This isn't a loan deal that Middlesbrough are looking to get done. It is a permanent deal that Middlesbrough are looking to complete for Lewis Dobbin. So it remains to be seen what the transfer fee will be, but Middlesbrough clearly intend to go out and sign an attacking player, because that is ultimately what Middlesbrough need to do going into the new season. So a little bit about Lewis Dobbin. So he is a left winger by trade. That's his natural position. He's a right-footed player naturally. So he's someone who plays on the left flank, likes to cut inside on his right foot. But as you may remember, that goal that he scored against Middlesbrough last season, he did take it with his left foot, and it was a really, really good strike. So he's by no means one of these one-footed players. It's not the case that he's someone who needs to cut in on his right foot to be effective. He can go either way, which is really, really effective. For Middlesbrough as well, he's someone who can play in a number of different positions. The left wing is his ideal role. That is the position that he's grown up playing most regularly. But for Preston North End last season, he did play quite a lot of games in a more central role, playing as a centre forward or even as a number 10. So he's someone who could be quite fluid, someone who could offer quite a lot to Middlesbrough in terms of the attack. So, of course, Middlesbrough are looking to strengthen the attacking third of the pitch. An out-and-out number 9 is one of the top priorities. It doesn't feel like Lewis Dobbin will be the player to fill that role. I'd suggest that Middlesbrough will still be going out to look for a more natural target man, number 9 type of player, but he is someone who can play on the left. He can play up top. Maybe someone who's a little bit more similar to perhaps like a Tommy Conway in profile, someone who can fit into a couple of different roles. Someone who's, if he can play on the left, he can cut inside onto his right foot, maybe like a Morgan Whittaker, and that could be really, really effective for Middlesbrough in terms of our tactical setup. Now, I think in terms of the way that he could fit into Middlesbrough's plans, as I said there, if he is coming in on the left, if he's on the left flank, cutting in on his right foot, that is something which would fit in with what Middlesbrough were trying to do last season. As I said before, Morgan Whittaker cutting in on his left foot from the right-hand side was really effective. Having someone who could do the same on the left-hand side could be really effective as well. Now, there had been suggestions that Middlesbrough were looking for more of an out-and-out winger, someone who could get on the ball, get on the outside of the defender, get to the byline and get the ball into the box. Now, of course, he is someone who could potentially do that. As I said, he does have a strong left foot as well as a right foot, so he could be doing that. But it potentially also paves the way for Middlesbrough to enter the market for more of an attack-minded left-back. Now, if we have someone like Lewis Dobbin on the left-hand side who's cutting inside onto his right foot, that then frees up space for a left-back to bomb on, get to the byline and get those balls into the box. We've seen it with Callum Britton doing it last season. We've seen it in the last couple of seasons with people like Ryan Giles, and that sort of profile of player. I'm not for 1 second suggesting that Ryan Giles will be the player that Middlesbrough look to try and sign. I just can't see that happening at all. But that sort of profile, someone who's a bit more attack-minded than what Matt Targett was last season. I think Matt Targett was a solid player. He was a more defensive-minded player. He had a good delivery into the box, but often you saw that when Matt Targett was crossing the ball into the penalty area, it was from more of a sort of a deeper inside position, which is kind of more difficult to attack, you've got to say. It's a lot easier to defend. It's probably the easier way to explain it, having a more direct ball forward punted towards the penalty area is easier to head clear than a ball that's fizzed in from the other byline into the penalty area across that area in the 6-yard box where a goalkeeper might struggle, where defenders don't know what to do. And that's something that Middlesbrough will be looking to do, because I think our attacks last season were a little bit one-dimensional. And maybe by doing that and bringing in an attack-minded left back, that could be exactly the way to do that. So for Lewis Dobbin, certainly a really, really good addition if Middlesbrough can get this deal done. As I said, no deal has been agreed just yet, but the fact that he's got an excellent goal-scoring record and the fact that he's got a brilliant record in terms of providing assists as well is going to be really, really important. And the fact that he can play in a couple of different positions in our attacking third could be a really, really dangerous thing for Kim Hellberg's side moving into next season. I think what will be interesting with Lewis Dobbin, if we do complete a deal to sign him, will be what it means for the rest of Middlesbrough's attacking players. Now, it's no secret that Middlesbrough are looking to strengthen our attacking options this summer. We do need to bring in reinforcements and some quality players to fit into Kim Hellberg's side, because as we've said before numerous times, Kim Hellberg's side were really, really quite blunt in attack, particularly in the latter stages of last season when it really sort of came back to bite us on the bum, not being able to get these wins over the line, which would have seen us go up automatically. So that's something that needs changing. But if Lewis Dobbin was to come in, it would mean that it's one thing bringing in top quality attacking players, but you've got to make room for them as well. We can't just be sort of stockpiling these players. And so it seems like there could be a number of players heading for the exit door as well. Now, reports from the Northern Echo earlier in the summer have suggested that Middlesbrough could be looking to bring in 4 or 5 different attacking players this summer. But of course, that would only happen if there were players heading for the exit door. So it'll be interesting to see what that means for a number of Middlesbrough's players. You're looking at people like Mika Hamilton. Seems quite likely that he might move on this summer. Kali Sen, he fell completely by the wayside in the second half of last term as well. I'd expect that he would move on. But then you've got a few more quite difficult decisions to make as well in that attacking third. You've got people like Sonjay Hansen. Didn't really set the world alight in his first season at Middlesbrough. We saw little glimpses of what he had to offer. I know that he did an interview after the playoff final and said that he wanted to sort of knuckle down and show what he was capable of. But whether he gets that opportunity under Kim Hellberg remains to be seen, because we didn't really see enough of it last season. Jeremy Sarmiento as well, another interesting one. We only signed him in January. That deal's been made permanent this summer. I think it was a mandatory fee of I think it was 3.4 million to make that deal permanent. So that's only just happened. That's happening this summer. But as I said, we haven't really seen a lot from him either. So it'll be interesting to see whether he's part of Kim Hellberg's plans, whether Hellberg's seen enough of him to think that he can work with him to try and get the best out of him going into the new season. But then as well as that, we've got David Strelec as well, someone who undoubtedly has quality, showed it on a number of occasions last season, but we just didn't really see it consistently enough. He could find the back of the net, but because of form and because of fitness, we just didn't see it consistently. So it'll be interesting to see whether he fits into Middlesbrough's attacking plans going into the new season, because if he doesn't, he's someone that could be cashed in on. We could get a little bit of money for him, and potentially that could be reinvested elsewhere. But with Lewis Dobbin potentially coming into the club and with a number of other attackers being targeted, it could be quite a big turnaround in that attacking third this summer as Kim Hellberg looks to build a team which he's confident in and that can go one step further than last season and secure promotion to the Premier League. So I want to hear from you. I want to hear about what you think about Lewis Dobbin and whether you would like to see him in a Middlesbrough shirt next season. Drop into the comments below. Let me know what you think. And if you have enjoyed this video, please do hit like, please do hit subscribe as well. And I will catch up with you next time.